Dear Ruta, what has changed recently in the last 4 or 5 years in the artistic profile and format of Vilnius Festival?
I would say that especially huge audiences' attention to Lithuanian music is one of the major achievements of Vilnius Festival during the last few years. And now the audiences are eager and hungry for new pieces, which Vilnius Festival started commissioning since its foundation in 1997. And it was then, that time, a very big challenge because the funding for new commissioned works was zero, and Vilnius Festival started immediately from commissioning large symphonic works, operas and ballets. And now we cannot imagine the repertoire of Lithuanian National Symphony Orchestra or Lithuanian Ballet and Opera Company without new works of Lithuanian composers. They are now heavily set into the repertoire, and for example the ballet performs two ballets, contemporary ballets commissioned by the festival, and they are most successful between young audiences. So I think it is number one strategy during the last years. And the second probably that Vilnius Festival has made international artists believe in our managerial and artistic capacities, and it is now one of the major points in Eastern Europe where the foreign artists would like to come, and they can offer very acceptable financial conditions, as well as they like receiving to be received in Vilnius city. So probably still our audience is a major treasure of ours and of Vilnius Festival, because it's very educated, it's very active and attentive.
Will you mention some of the highlights of this year's festival?
Yes. This year the Vilnius Festival will be extremely limited with the number of concerts. It is of course due financial situation, and last year has been very big downturn in our economy, and especially of the funding of culture and arts. So we lost almost 90% of governmental and municipality funding, as well as many of our sponsors, long-term partners, have withdrawn from partnership with the festival. It's a very big pity, of course. However, this year we have several concerts which I would call the highlights, and they are very much about cultural and musical cooperation between West and East and Central Europe and Far Asia. So I would mention the concert of Lithuanian National Symphony Orchestra with rising star, Japanese conductor, female conductor, Tomomi Nishimoto. And she will conduct a piece of Rodion Shchedrin called Lithuanian Saga. It has been commissioned last year by Vilnius European Culture Capital, and it has been received with a very big success. So this year we are repeating this piece. Afterwards, the orchestra and Japanese conductor will go on tour to Japan for entire month. Another Asian point in the festival is a visit of Korean orchestra, Incheon City Symphony Orchestra from South Korea, conducted by Chinese conductor Chen Huojiang, and soloist will be Armenian violinist, also very talented performer, Sergei Khachatryan. So this program of the Incheon Symphony Orchestra will be comprised of Western, classical and Eastern composers' music. Of course, the audiences of the Baltic states eagerly await recital of pianist Grigory Sokolov. He has been here in our region probably 30 years ago, and since then has never visited us again, because he's very attentive to his program, and he only performs one program during the year. So finally we have been successful with inviting Grigory Sokolov, and I believe that our neighbors from all the neighboring countries to Lithuania will come to listen to Grigory Sokolov. A few other highlights are young Lithuanian performers living abroad, We have probably 80% of our young talented soloists, singers and pianists and violinists living not in Lithuania. However, every year, a few times, they come with their fantastic recitals, with the discovery of new works, and we call this a series of concerts the returns to the motherland. So I think these are the highlights.
Vilnius is a famous cultural center. How is the festival situated in the entire cultural life of your city?
I would say that Vilnius Festival is the very first festival promoting, first of all, the name of Vilnius City and the cultural heritage of Vilnius City. Since it has been centuries long, since the foundation of Vilnius in the beginning of 14th century, it has been a very multicultural city. It has been a crossroad for cultures of Jewish people, Polish, Russian, Belarusian, and of course Lithuanian people. And therefore, it still plays a very big role in the cooperation with the international partners. And I think the festival's mission is not just artistic or music, but it is very much about being ambassador of the city, of the very big potential of the city for creating links via cultures, via politicians, via other actors in the society's life. And therefore, it is one of the major events during the year, and we attract very big international attention of the media as well. And putting together Lithuanian and foreign artists helps us to get even more ambassadors of Vilnius City, because I remember the meeting of Ricardo Muti and Mstislav Rostropovich in one of the airports. Ricardo Muti was leaving Vilnius while Rostropovich was coming to Vilnius, and they were talking hours long about our beautiful city and about our very, very attentive audiences. So I think Vilnius Festival has positioned itself really as an ambassador, as a major focus of the city's cultural life. And I have to say that ourselves as the managers, organizers of the festival, we like it so much. It is almost not work, but more pleasure and hobby for us to organize Vilnius Festival.
I remember during the General Assembly in Vilnius, you were the soul of all the activities, and you are so much involved in all the cultural events and activities. Will you please share what is the result and the impact of the cultural capital initiatives last year?
Yes, it is. It was a very big challenge, and I would say difficult task for the city and culture operators, just because the economical crisis came on the eve of the first event of Vilnius European Culture Capital. And we really suffered a lot from this, because just before entering in the program, we received much smaller subsidies for our international projects. However, I think the biggest result and achievement of Vilnius being European Culture Capital is, again, the attraction of the attention of the local people. They got involved into discussions about culture, how important culture is for the building of society, for building of personality, for young people, for education, for prevention of... it works much better as some of very well-funded prevention programs, prevention of drugs and alcohol usage and other programs, which are dedicated to young people. So I think culture and arts, which involved the entire society, it was a fantastic present to not just Vilnius City, because the programs spread all over Lithuania, and we have very many local and international guests coming for international conferences, for book fairs, for the festivals. So even due to economic crisis and very difficult times for our airlines and logistics system in Lithuania, we still had almost 30% more visitors and tourists to Vilnius City. I would say that now we feel this huge capacity of young culture operators, which has been produced by program of Vilnius European Culture Capital, and we are now much stronger in partnerships between institutions. So some of the international trends which foresee merging of the forces of the human resources between institutions, because we have to survive with much lesser funds. So it is now very good time to start cooperating, not competing, but going the same direction and really fighting and lobbying for our city.